So we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I didn't see any tire puncture, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go and ride up. It's now 8:02 in the morning. I'm with two other ninjas, and we are going to be dining, or not really dining, it's not dinner, you know. We're gonna be eating breakfast at Felixberto, our usual place. So stick around and ride with us as we go to Felmas. Okay, so as usual, we are going to be talking about many topics that pertain to riding. Okay, and one of the trending topics right now would be that dragging stuff, you know, elbow dragging, knee dragging, etc. in TCH. Okay, so we will be talking about that in a bit, but first let's do a quick high-speed run. Woo! Yeah, I just love making the ZX4-RR scream. It just loves to scream, man. Woo! So again, we are in a densely populated area, so best practice is to just keep it slow, or rather, nah, if you can't be slow, but keep it safe, keep it reasonable. Okay, you know, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite here in saying that I only travel in road legal speeds. I mean, if you've seen my videos, I do love myself some high-speed runs, but we only do it when the situation permits such maneuvers. Okay, so aka reasonable. So take example sa unreasonable riding behavior. Well, it's when you force your speed, your riding style to the public. Okay, forcing it to adjust to you. It just, you know, sometimes we have a tendency to do that. As big bikes, we feel that since we're faster, we deserve more a right of way, but that's really not the case. And you know, that's what's giving a bad rep to big bike riders. So that's what we're trying to change here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, big bike riders can be responsible and safe riders as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Ooh, yeah. Brake and bank. Tires are not yet that warm, I suppose. Okay. Okay, so back to the topic of riding position. It's very touchy. I have a lot of friends who do those kinds of maneuvers in TCH. Okay, and what do I mean? Dragging knee, going all out, and I mean all out, butt out, and sometimes attempting to do elbow dragging. Okay, before we deal with that topic, we must first establish goals. Okay, we must first establish what really is the main goal of such race tech maneuvers, such as knee dragging, elbow dragging, and etc. So by definition, okay, knee dragging is a gauge of your lean angle. Okay, that's it. Basically, that's it. Knee dragging will help you gauge, as a rider, will help you gauge if you're already at the limit, if you're near the limit of your bike's lean angle. Okay, by dragging knee, you're telling yourself that, hey, I've reached a certain lean angle and I should not be going any further. okay, to avoid accidents. So it's not dragging knee is not for you to prop yourself up using your knee. You know, it is not for you to keep your balance. You know, that's what the pivot feet is for. You put your weight there. Your knees on the tank pad, you put your weight there, you hang off there. So dragging knee is a measure. So it is not where you put your weight into. Okay? I mean, yeah, it can help when you're crashing, when you're sliding. When you have your knee down, your leg down, your position is already ready to make a recovery. But we don't, that's not our aim, that's our goal when we're riding in public roads, diba? Our goal in public roads is to be safe, is to ensure that we don't get into an accident, because there's a high likelihood that other people will be involved. You know, I'm sure you've seen all those videos of kamote riders na nangdadamay sa iba, diba? So that's what we're trying to avoid. If only were you, it was just you, you know, getting into an accident, not harming anybody, then yeah, bahala kayo, diba? But that's not the case. Okay, there are a lot of innocent bystanders that can get victimized by your recklessness, and that is why we need to be safe. Okay, so now that we've established the purpose of the real purpose of knee dragging, so some of the elbow dragging, shoulder dragging, well, it's just another level of extreme for such dragging maneuvers. Now sometimes, especially in MotoGP, your lean angle is just too much. It's just at the absolute limit. We're talking about 50, 60 degrees here. And that means gravity is going to be pulling on your body very heavily now, since you're almost to the ground. And you're gonna need another measure of checking. You know, you're gonna need to see if your lean angle is just, it's about to be exceeded, the maximum lean angle. So you use your elbows to do that as well, to gauge if your upper body has leaned far enough. Okay. And when elbow dragging, if you've observed MotoGP riders, elbow dragging, they don't really extend their elbow out. They don't hold the very tip of their handlebars, you know. In fact, they tuck their elbow in, and the elbow just naturally touches the ground. Okay, and that's actually one of the real proofs that you are doing it right. When you don't have to force anything, when your lean angle is just that high that your knee has no choice but to touch the ground. That's actually the essence of knee dragging. It's a gauge. You don't use knee dragging, you don't as a way to prove to yourself that you're already far too leaned over. Okay, so knee dragging is a measure, elbow dragging is also a measure, shoulder dragging, all of those, and they are a result. Those events are a result of you naturally reaching those kinds of extreme lean angles. Okay, they're not a result of you just wanting to touch the ground with your knee. Okay, with your sparkling knees. So it's basically an issue of form over function. Okay, some people may say good form is function, but that is not the primary, that's not the first thing that comes. Form. Okay, function is the first thing that should be achieved. Okay, what will my form achieve in terms of function? And because you've asked yourself that question and you've figured out a good way to change your form to achieve good function, then your form will naturally follow. Okay, That's why. So anyway, I hope that you know, that's my opinion, and it's not just my opinion, it's the opinion of other riders out there, other racers. You know, it's just, it's a byproduct. It is not an end goal. Lead dragging is not an end goal. It's a byproduct of just you naturally being fast and wanting to not wanting to crash. It's seen as a form of measure of skill. The fact that you can lead drag means, oh wow, he's so good, he can drag knee, he can make all the sparks. That is not really the case. In fact, most people that I've seen do drag the knee aren't really that fast even. You know, I mean, some of them have fast bikes, but if you compare them to other riders of the same CC, nah man, it's just, you know, regular riding, etc. Not really that much. I was already out and he still veered to the outer part of the lane. So be careful, man, be careful. But anyway, so in connection to dragging, the bad dragging we've established is a form of is a measure to see how far we've leaned over. So that brings us to that topic of leaning over in general. You know, some people, some riders think that more lean angle equals more skill. The better you are because you have more lean angle. That could not be farther from the truth. Because in MotoGP, their goal is to actually minimize their lean angle as much as they can. Why? Because it is the key to being fast. And what do I mean? Leaning is done in corners, right? Leaning is done in corners. Cornering. Now, in racing, the goal is to be as fast as you can, right? That includes straights and corners. Now, if you want to be fast in a corner, what does that mean? It means more speed, right? It means acceleration. You know, before you enter a corner, you have to slow down. You will slow down. Okay? That means when you exit the corner, you then have to accelerate. But you won't be able to accelerate as much as you want when exiting a corner, because there are a lot of factors to consider. When you're leaned over, your tire grip is not that much. You know, your normal force exerted by the tire perpendicular to the ground. I'm sorry, that's the normal force. And when you're leaned over, because of the geometry, then the normal force is not that good. It's not that high. So you don't have a lot of friction. Now, what will help increase that normal force, that friction? Okay? It is by reducing the lean angle as much as you can, so that more weight is on the tire. And if the more weight is on the tire, then that means you can accelerate much harder. Okay? So that's why in MotoGP you've got those extreme hanging off maneuvers wherein they're leaned so far away from the bike, and their goal is to ensure that their bike has the least amount of lean angle as possible, so that they can accelerate as hard as they can exiting the corner. Okay? And that is why, as riders, you know, if our goal is really to be fast, then we should also emulate that mindset, that the less lean angle when entering and exiting a corner, or rather when exiting a corner, the more speed that we can accelerate to, the harder our acceleration can be. Okay? So I have nothing against those who want to do those kinds of things. There's nothing wrong with dragging knee unnecessarily, low speeds, bike straight up, you know. There's nothing wrong with trying to achieve those extreme lean angles, even though the speeds do not warrant for them. Nothing wrong with that, you know. If it makes you happy, then can't be that bad, as the song goes. But it's also not technically correct. That's just what I'm saying. So if it's your thing to do those kinds of maneuvers, then by all means, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you know, live and let live. Okay, so that's it for lean angles and cornering and knee dragging, elbow dragging. It is it's nice to look at, but in terms of the necessity of those maneuvers, most of the time people do it here in TCH not out of necessity, but out of showmanship. And then that's not necessarily bad, you know. To each his or her own. Okay, so now we've reached this area of Busay. No, I'm not sure if this is even Busay. We've reached the area where the road is still being repaired. You know, I think you've seen this a lot in my previous videos, so you'll know the drill. Road is broken, but it's already on its way to being constructed and fixed. So there you go. So for the past couple of years, I think 2, this road going up was the road to pass through, but now they're almost done with it, so they've created a detour here while they finish that road. Okay, so all the while I've forgotten that there are 2 people following us, two ninjas. So I am not sure about their level of skill when it comes to riding, but they may be fast, you know, and they might be bored already, because I have been talking and riding moderately all this time. So I am going to just shut up and ride, make the ZX6-R scream, and let's see if these 2 folks enjoy it. Yeah. We're gonna do a couple of full throttle runs. Okay. Lord bless our ride, keep us safe and keep us far away from danger and accidents. Amen. Okay, road is wet. Down in the bank. Oh, cool. Trust the tires. But not trust them too much, because they may let you down, like Rexona. Just kidding, because Rexona is not supposed to let you down. Okay, So I've lost... Oh no, not really, I haven't lost them. Good job, brother of Mike. Okay, so Mike Opus's brother is riding with us. Right there, I can see him. I can see him. So there we go. He's catching up, so I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate to the maximum speed. Warp drive. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! I once saw a dog here, so a little bit of trauma, flashbacks and all that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take it slow. Wait. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Yeah, it's clear. Warp speed. Woo! Wow. The ZX6R, oh sorry, the ZX4 really hauls ass, ladies and gentlemen. It is just too fast for comfort. Yeah, I like it. We are hauling ass, ladies and gents. But here I'm going to slow down. Lots of multicams, and there was a time when someone actually did a U-turn on that exact curve. Wow, the nerve. That was really a scary day for me because I didn't know where to go. I went to the other side of the road to avoid that dude, that car. Good thing there was nobody else on the other side of the road. So that was a lucky break for me, which could have turned ugly very fast. So you gotta be quick on your feet, ladies and gentlemen, when you encounter those kinds of situations. Okay, so we got some people here riding chill, scooters and Max. Take their club. I saw them earlier at Shell. So okay. Yeah, we gotta be careful when doing these overtake maneuvers or especially when you're following a car like this, because you never know when the other party might decide to overtake. So you always have to give audio and visual cues. Sounding your horn is indeed the best option, as opposed to fucking U-turn. These ignorants, why do they do U-turns in such dangerous places, Ay nako. Okay, downhill, I love it. Okay, Lakeview, the Jardin, and we have here Cafe. Oh my god, I forgot the name. But it's one of those famous cafes. So, okay, so we got a car and a pickup. Oh my gosh, and a slow truck up ahead. So it looks like we may have to do some overtaking maneuvers. There I go. There we go. Slow and smooth. Transition. Pin it. There we go. And we've left them in the dust. So once you execute proper cornering maneuvers, entering, exiting, you really are going to leave the crowd behind. Oh man, caught up to this group. I saw them earlier. Okay, so what's this? Is this a ADV? I forgot. I don't know. I think it's an ADV 160, so I can I saw Brian, Fabian, so I'm gonna just go ahead and stop and say hi. Maybe he's gonna go down. You know, see what's going on with Brian. Oh, there it is. There they are. So I'll just talk to Brian and then I'll resume the video much later. Okay, guys. So I will see you in a bit, but first, check